DC Fitness Squad, what is going on? Hope you're all doing well and amazing. Happy Monday, and more importantly, happy Labor Day. I hope we're all doing good, enjoying some time with yourself, friends, family, and hopefully tuning into this podcast. I'm excited. And honestly, just thinking about the topic of this podcast really just clicked with me. And I'm going to be open and honest and vulnerable and just talk about how I used to wear baggy clothes to hide my body. And like, it's Labor Day weekend, right? It's the end of summer. It's like, this is the time where you start finishing off those pool parties, beach parties. And like, this is perfect time because I was that individual that would go to a beach party, a pool party, and honestly feel uncomfortable taking off my shirt and just not feeling good wearing baggy clothes because I didn't want to share or show the shape of my body, right? So if you're struggling with that, and I know a lot of gentlemen are struggling with the same thing, I want to help you out with this podcast. I know I will give you value. I know I will help you. We're just going to really be talking about one thing I want you to do if you're not really feeling comfortable in your own skin right now, because I know a lot of you are struggling. And when I'm talking to individuals in my messenger or when I get applications for the program coming in, the number one struggle is just really not feeling comfortable and confident in how you look, how you feel. And that has to change. All right. If you are the same person September 5th, if you're the same person as January 1st, that is a massive problem. That needs to change. And we're going to solve that in this podcast right here. All right. So I am going to start this countdown. We'll get into the podcast. And I appreciate you so much for tuning in. It means a lot. And we're going to change a lot of lives. By the way, I do want to say everybody that is in the 4-day challenge, it's already been like extremely exciting. The energy is there. I just want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you. And we're going to have a blast this week. All right. So let's get into the podcast. We'll go from there. And hopefully you get some serious value from what I'm going to talk about today, gentlemen. All right. Let's get this going. There we go. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Men's Fat Loss Made Easy podcast, where I'm here to give you massive value that you could implement on your fat loss journey. Today, we're going to be talking about how I wore baggy clothes to hide the shape of my body. And I honestly want to be open and honest in this podcast today because I know a lot of gentlemen are listening and struggling with the same thing, right? I would wear the baggy clothes, right? Right now, I don't know when you're listening to this podcast, but it's Labor Day weekend. It's a prime example of like when it's hot out and I would go to the beach or pool and I would take off my shirt and like put a towel on my, body because I didn't really want to share or show the shape of my body. I wasn't comfortable with how I felt. I wasn't comfortable looking in the mirror when I was 30 pounds heavier, right? And I was 30 pounds heavier. I had a knee injury. I got overweight because I was really sedentary, didn't really watch my diet, nutrition, didn't really care either, wasn't really that motivated, and it sucked. And at this point, I was wearing baggy clothes. I would wear the long jackets and the sweaters, even when it was pretty hot out, because I didn't want to wear clothes that I actually liked wearing because I wasn't comfortable with my body. And I know a lot of gentlemen that are listening struggling with the same thing. For you, work is busy. You're traveling. You're eating out a lot. I understand. And your health is on the back burner. You are at the bottom of your to-do list. And now the scale's going up every month. Those clothes are getting tighter. You're looking in the mirror. You're like, what the fuck has happened since 2019? I used to be in great shape when I worked with that trainer. And then what happened? I fell off. And now you're buying bigger jeans and your clothes are getting baggier. All right. I was there. I want to help you. I want to give you some inspiration with this podcast. All right. Before I do that, I want to talk about a client, Matt Bush. All right. Matt Bush is a rock star freaking client, and he was struggling with the same thing. He was really struggling with weight gain, and it came to a point where he was going to work, and one of his coworkers actually noticed like he was gaining some weight, and he commented on something like on his stomach, and he's like, hey, I see you have like some extra pudge. And Matt got really insecure at that point, and this is what he told me, and he wore long sleeve jackets from that point on, even in the spring and summer when it was hot, because he just wasn't feeling comfortable about his body. And in the program, we focused on weight loss. He lost over 30 pounds. He's really feeling good. He lost that stomach fat. He wears clothes that he can actually enjoy wearing now that he feels comfortable with his body. And it's because we focused on one very important thing. And I wanted to share Matt's story because we're going to share that one important thing in this podcast today. All right, we're going to share that one important thing, that one main key that Matt and I focused on in the program to help him lose the 30 pounds feel comfortable, feel good, actually be able to wear a short sleeve t-shirt without always having to lift up the bottom of it because you want to untuck the flab. Like, I get it, guys. I was there, and so was Matt. I work with over 100 men and that are struggling with the same thing. So if you are someone that's struggling with this, all right, I want to help you out. And what we really did, what I'm going to teach you in today's episode that really changed Matt's life is simply one thing. It was simply taking the first step. All right, because a few months later, fast forward 90 days after Matt started the program, he lost 35 pounds. And I asked him, like, dude, what was the number one thing that really hit for you? Like, how did you lose all this weight when there's individuals out there that are just struggling with the motivation, struggling with the consistency? Like, what was it for you, Matt, that helped you lose the 35 pounds? And he just told me one thing. He's like, dude, I just fucking took action. He's like, literally, I just did it. Like, it was 3 words, just did it. He's like, I just did it. It's 4 words, but he's like, I just did it. Taking that first step. And he told me, like, he was watching my stuff for like months, and I put up a story. It was like a transformation post, and I was like, swipe up if you want to change your life. And he did. And he was like, that right there, from that point on, like, that was it. I just took the initial step. And then Matt told me everything after that was like simple. All right, that it will, like, you'll fall into momentum after you do the scary part. And sometimes the scary part is just taking that first step. It's just taking that first step, asking for help, that first workout, that first healthy meal. That might be the hardest part, but that's going to be the part that leads you to the most growth, that gets you, honestly, the most happiness, is making yourself uncomfortable. That's really what it comes down to. And that's hard for individuals to fathom, right? All of us want to be happy, but you're not willing to take the action steps necessary to actually reach that happiness. Does that make sense? So for Matt, it was just taking that action. So for you, all right, stop trying to get back on track. Stop trying to get healthier, happier by going like hard knocks, like military workouts, restrictive diets, sacrificing your whole life, cutting carbs, this and that. Like, you don't have to do that. Start with one single step, because I was struggling, not feeling confident in my clothes. Matt was struggling, not feeling confident in his clothes. We were both up 30 pounds, not feeling good, 30 pounds of excess body fat, feeling disgusting in ourselves. All right. And all we did was just take that initial step. So for you, don't overcomplicate it. If you are stuck in a rut right now and you're really not satisfied, you're not feeling good about yourself, you're not feeling confident, start with the first step. Start with the first step. If you need help, just ask for it. But a lot of you just try to go from level 1 to level 7 in 1 week. All right, go one level at a time, and that compound effect will lead to great weight loss results over time. You'll start to feel confident in yourself. You'll start to have more energy. And just think, I'm actually going to be posting some content about this later. Like, actually think, if you took action from this podcast, actually think about what it feels like to be 15 to 30 pounds down. You're wearing clothes that you actually enjoy. You don't have to wear long clothes in the summer anymore because you're not, uncomfortable with the shape of your body. Like, think about how that life feels, because you can get there. It's going to take some action steps. It's going to take some discipline, but you can get there. And I want to be that coach that pulls you out of this rut and helps you out. I'm rooting for you. I know you'll succeed. It just starts with that first step. All right. So I just want to be open and honest in this podcast and tell you, like, I used to wear baggy clothes to hide the shape of my body. And the one thing that's going to get you out of that position, if you're there right now, I don't want you to focus too much on meal plans, workout. No. Just take the first step and say to yourself, like, all right, that's it. I have to change. This is it. You have to stop living like this. You've been living the same life for years. You've been playing the same game for years. You've been uncomfortable with the shape of your body for years. How long do you want to keep playing this game? Eventually, you have to take a hard look at yourself and be like, you know what? Today's the fucking day I change. So make this podcast be the reminder, that catalyst where you're like, you know what? I got to make this change, because in 30, 60, 90 days, you're going to be like, damn, When I took action on September 5th, when I took action on that Labor Day, my whole life changed, and it was because of Danny's podcast. And that's like fulfilling to me. So hopefully this was some inspiration, some motivation to get back on track. I was struggling. I wanted to bring up my client, Matt Bush, because he was 35 pounds overweight, struggling, had to go to work every single day, even in hot springs and summers, wearing long jackets because he was uncomfortable with the shape of his body. So was I. All right. And all we did together, and a lot of my other clients did as well, is just the first thing: take the first step. Ask for help. Do the first workout. Get your first healthy meal in. You have to break that old habit just once. And then once you see it one time, once you see yourself go to the gym one time, once you see yourself do that home workout one time, go on that walk one time, get in that healthy meal instead of the freaking McDonald's. Like once you see yourself do it once, you know you could do it again. And you could do it again. And it could just be a discipline instead of something that like you have to do all the time and you're dragging yourself and you're nagging and this and that. Like it's just a discipline, right? Going to the gym for me is like fun at this point. I used to hate it. I'm gonna be completely honest with all of you, right? You probably watch me like, oh, this fitness guru, he loves the gym. All he does is lift weights, picks things up and puts them down. That's it. No, I used to fucking hate the gym. I would be going to school and it would be like 2:00. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to go to gym. Don't want to go to practice, don't want to do this, don't want to do that. All right, but I really learned to fall in love with the process because I know the benefits that focusing on myself really bring. All right, more happiness, more fulfillment, more love, more confidence. And that's what life is about. All right, so gentlemen, I hope I freaking helped you. I really do appreciate you for tuning in, giving me your time on this Labor Day. It means a lot. If you're listening to the podcast, it's probably not Labor Day for you. But if you're watching this live, it is. But everyone on the podcast, I do appreciate you. I love you. Leave me a 5 stars if you're open to it. You can leave me a written review as well. That does not go unnoticed whatsoever. And I appreciate you so much. I'll talk to you on the next episode and have the best day of your life. See ya. All right, DC Fitness Squad, that is it. I appreciate you so much for tuning in. It means a lot, giving me your time, your energy, your attention. If you're in the 4-day challenge tonight, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, you better be there. We're going to be talking about how to lose weight and stay healthy during a busy fall. Because I know for a lot of you, work, family life, events, it starts really kicking up in fall. And I'm here to help. You could already see it's Labor Day. It's the beginning of September. And a lot of you are the same fucking person as January 1st. And that is a massive problem. I'm going to be that coach that levels you up and changes your life. All right. So that's all I got. I appreciate you. Keep up with the content. Send me a message if this really, really helped you and spoke home for you, like hit home. And if you're in the challenge, I will talk to you soon. All right. Have the best day. See ya. And bye-bye.